Black single father, Marcus Reed, 32, stands in the cold with shaking hands, staring at the paper that could take his son away. A car slows behind him. Woman he once helped, standing under the streetlight, soaked from the rain. Her eyes widen as she whispers, "Marcus, what did they do to you?" He never suspected she wasn't just any stranger. She was the judge who held his fate. Marcus Reed wasn't supposed to live a complicated life. He just wanted to raise his 6-year-old son, Yalan, the right way. They lived in a small, one-bedroom apartment on the south side of Atlanta, a building where you could hear old pipes banging through the walls, kids shouting in the hallway, and the distant hum of traffic mixing with sirens. Almost every night, morning routines were always the same. Marcus waking at 5 a.m., packing Jalen's little Spider-Man lunchbox, whispering, "Daddy's got to work early, okay? But I'll pick you up right on time." Yalan would nod, rubbing his eyes, trusting him, always trusting him. Marcus worked 2 jobs. Day shift, warehouse loader. Night shift, janitor at a downtown office building. He barely slept. But he smiled through the exhaustion, telling himself it was all for Yolan. And despite being tired, despite the world constantly looking at him like he was a threat or a statistic, he showed his son love. Real love. Slow walks to school, breakfast, pancakes on Sundays, bedtime stories on the couch. But pressure was building, bills overdue, landlord threatening eviction, his ex filing for custody, arguing Marcus was unstable because he worked too much and slept too little. Still, Marcus kept trying, day after day, doing everything right, and yet the world kept pushing him down. One night, after his shift, he turned onto the expressway when he saw a car stopped at the shoulder hazards, blinking. A woman beside it, coat-drenched, waving for help. Most cars sped past her, but Marcus, he slowed down. He always slowed down for people in trouble. He stepped out and asked, "Ma'am, you good? Need a lift or something?" She looked startled at first, a black man approaching late at night, but then relieved. Her name was Evelyn Ward, elegant, mid-40s, overwhelmed but polite. Her phone was dead. Her car battery, 2. Marcus offered her his charger, let her sit in his car, even drove her home when her engine refused to start. She thanked him more times than he expected. Marcus didn't know who she was, didn't know she was powerful, didn't know she had influence. He just thought she was a stranded woman who needed kindness, a kindness that would return, in a way he never imagined. 2 weeks after helping Evelyn, everything changed. Marcus was rushing from his night shift, eyes burning from lack of sleep. He didn't notice his left headlight had gone out. Blue and red lights flashed behind him. Officer Daniels, known in the neighborhood for treating men like Marcus as suspects first, humans second, walked up with slow, arrogant steps. Daniels, license, registration. Marcus handed them over, hands visible, voice steady. "Marcus, it's just a broken headlight, sir. I can fix." Daniels, cutting him off. "You got a kid in the car seat." He leaned in, squinting at the empty booster seat. "Where's the kid?" "You kidnapping someone." Marcus froze. He felt that familiar sting, the assumption, the accusation, the racism disguised as protocol. "Marcus, it's my son's seat. I'm heading to pick him up after work." Daniels smirked. "Daniels, right. Step out of the vehicle." Marcus obeyed. He was searched, patted down. treated like a criminal, over a broken headlight. But it escalated when Daniels found a stack of overdue bills in the glove compartment. Letters from custody notices. Daniels held them like evidence. Daniels states, already looking at you, huh? Figures. Marcus felt humiliation burning inside him, but he stayed quiet. He couldn't afford to snap. A second officer arrived, whispering to Daniels. Daniels nodded and said, "We're writing you up. Court date, mandatory. Miss it and custody moves to the state." Marcus felt the world tilt. Missing work meant losing money. Missing court meant losing Yalen. And then the worst part is, they shoved the paper into his hand and walked away. Daniels muttered, "People like you never get it together. People like you." Marcus stood there in the cold, holding the paper with shaking fingers, feeling small, powerless, broken. That's when Evelyn's car appeared. She recognized him instantly. The man who saved her. Her eyes widened at the officers driving off. "Evelyn, Marcus. What happened? Why do you look like that?" Marcus tried to steady his voice. "Marcus, they say I might lose my son." And he didn't see it. Not yet, but Evelyn's expression shifted into something sharp, focused, almost judicial. Because she wasn't just some stranded woman, she was Judge Evelyn Ward, and Marcus Reed had no idea the system had just tried to punish the wrong man. The court date arrived fast. Marcus came in wearing his only dress shirt, slightly wrinkled, collar loose. He looked small in the courthouse hallways, sitting alone, clutching a folder of documents like a life raft. Inside the courtroom, the buzz of whispers echoed, and then Evelyn walked in, wearing her judge's robe. Marcus's heart dropped. That's the woman he helped. That's the woman who saw him humiliated, and now she was the one deciding custody. He felt sick. Evelyn's gavel cracked. "Evelyn, next case, Marcus Reed." He stepped forward, voice trembling, but before he could speak, Evelyn addressed him gently, not like a judge to a defendant, but like a human to another human. "Evelyn, Mr. Reed." "I remember you," gasps whispered through the room. Daniels, sitting in the back, stiffened. Evelyn lifted the police report. "Evelyn, these charges are exaggerated. The stop was unjustified. The comments made to you were unprofessional and unacceptable." Daniels looked away. Evelyn turned to Marcus. "Evelyn, you work 2 jobs. You care for your son. You've shown integrity, even when the world hasn't been fair to you." Silence filled the courtroom. Then she delivered her ruling. "Evelyn, I see a good father. I rule to keep custody with Mr. Marcus Reed. Case dismissed." Marcus covered his face, overwhelmed. He didn't cry often. He couldn't afford to. But this time he let the tears fall. Evelyn stepped down from the bench. Afterward, Evelyn softly, "That night you helped me. You didn't know who I was. You helped because it's who you are. Let the world see that." Marcus whispered, "Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor." For the first time in a long time, he felt hope, real hope. Marcus walked out of the courthouse that day holding his son's tiny hand, the same hand he feared he would lose. For him, the incident wasn't just a lucky break. It was a reminder of how close good men come to being, crushed by systems not designed for them. Racism isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it hides behind uniforms, paperwork, or procedure. But kindness echoes. Marcus helped a stranger without expecting anything, and that stranger helped expose the injustice meant to break him. Judge Evelyn later pushed for retraining in her district, emphasizing respect, cultural sensitivity, and accountability. But for Marcus, the biggest change was internal. He realized he wasn't small. He wasn't powerless. He wasn't invisible. He was a father worth fighting for, a man worth listening to, a life worth respecting. Final line: sometimes the people we save are the very ones sent to save us back.